Back on MorningLine, final segment this morning with Clint Kelly, malpractice attorney. Always good to have him on. He is a great conversation. Let's go to Pam next. She was waiting through the break. Good morning to you, Pam. Hi, Pam.
Good morning, Nick. I really enjoy your program. Since you're talking about the economics of health care, I would like to know if he could address the issues that we face with the air ambulance services, particularly in the rural areas. I noticed that Vanderbilt has partnered with this Air Medic Corporation, and I just wanted to know how that's going to impact our health care. Thank you very much.
All right, any thoughts?
All right, with a caveat, Pam, this is not my expertise to know what air ambulance costs, but I do know something from a friend of mine who used it. My understanding is that there was a flight that he took from somewhere in Cannon County to Vanderbilt because he was torn up on the inside. He had the best insurance that you could have, and his share of that bill was $3,500.
Wow.
He told me without insurance, it's a $35,000 charge. Okay, that's if you had to pay without any coverage at all. That's what he told me. But air ambulance is the reason why all of us have to have health insurance, because it's basically called catastrophic protection. If you get yourself badly injured in an auto accident on the interstate, such that you need immediate transportation to a trauma unit, Vanderbilt, St. Thomas, they're going to call the air ambulance. That's what's going to happen. You're going to fly by helicopter. There's not going to be any choice in the matter.
Could you say no if you were conscious?
You're not going to be in a position to say no.
Okay, so you're not. So these people, critical condition, have to be flown because that's merited. All right, but go on, finish your story.
Well,
I
they
know.
put you in a helicopter.
Yeah.
This happens to be the first 3 or 4 months you decide I'm going to start self-insuring myself. I'm not going to pay health care premiums anymore. I'll pay out of my pocket. They fly you to the hospital on a trauma case. You now landed at Vanderbilt. They brought you into the trauma unit. You stay in the trauma unit for 2 weeks while they save your life, put your bones back together, your vessels back together, get you in a position where you can at least get up and walk again. You get out of the hospital after about 2.5 weeks. You go to rehabilitation. You go through about a month of that just so you can get back to some type of life. And all of a sudden you get a $500,000 bill, of which $35,000 of that is a helicopter ride. And you have no insurance.
Even if you have insurance too, like you said, and that's what's really important. I was just thinking about this. Every single day we're reporting in our newsroom on some life flight or air medical evacuation, okay? We're certainly reporting every single day, and an ambulance ain't cheap either. Ambulance, people getting caught, and they don't know, they don't realize it. When it's happening, you just say, oh, they're taken by life flight. And I don't know if you think somehow mysteriously it's paid for or whatever. Every single one of these people in these horrible wrecks, when they're flown somewhere or taken by ambulance, are getting a bill. And you kind of, it's weird in kind of how we're detached from that. You're not thinking about it. You're thinking about, they gotta save their life. Thank goodness for the air ambulance. And then they get there, and then later, they get this bill. And you talk about medical debt, and our Chris Conti's done a lot of stories on this, but boom, right there and then. I mean, it's expensive. I know people who have not been as critical as you've said. When someone shows up and the paramedics or whatever and say, oh, we need to take you by ambulance, they go, no, my wife's driving me. I'm not going in an ambulance, because they don't want that bill. You want to, and trust me, if you can do it and you're not life-threatening, drive yourself or have someone drive you. Don't take an ambulance, because you're going to be paying through the nose.
And in answer to Pam's question, I believe what's going to happen is this is going to drive up the cost of care, because there's a lot of, I presume, because I know the medical system, there's a lot of overhead built into price hikes into that transportation that are unnecessary. I don't, it's like buying electronics. We know when we buy a piece of electronics, we're paying probably 80–90% more than what we should be paying for it. I suspect air ambulance is going to be the same, and so there'll be people flying who maybe shouldn't, but they are, and then they're going to be paying a markup that's going to be extraordinary, and guess who pockets that every time that chopper flies back and forth. So it's going to make things more expensive. And going back to my example of someone who has no insurance, you could come out of the hospital $500,000 in debt with no way to pay it.
Wipe you out.
Just because you wanted to self-insure. And then
think about it.
You get upset at the doctors and hospitals, and they turn around and say, well, blame the malpractice lawyers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's how it is.
Real quick, let's see if we can squeeze in Don. Don, are you there? You've got about a minute and a half. Go ahead. Hi, Don.
Hi. I'm calling. Is this this message for the attorney?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, hi. December of last year, December 18th, I had vascular surgery done here in Tennessee. Why I'm calling for is the doctor, because I've had multiple vascular surgeries done throughout the years, because I have a deep vein thrombosis disorder with pulmonary embolism. And what I'm calling for is, I spoke with other attorneys too, but nobody wanted to take the case. After the surgery, I had home visiting nurses come in, Medicine's home health care. And as she was changing my dresses, she noticed that there was something left inside of me, which was part of the catheter broke off. When the doctor did the surgery, it looked like a fish line. It was clear, it was see-through. I know it wasn't supposed to be there. I know it was a malpractice, that it was, I can't say negligence, but what I want to know is if it's a malpractice case, because I had another surgery back in May of this year, which was supposed to have been a component replacement, because when he did the vascular surgery, I guess it made a big open hole inside my stomach, and it made all the components go different ways. So the doctor, the general surgeon, did a component replacement May of this year, and as he was in there, he did a hernia with mesh repair also. I spoke with about 5 different attorneys. I sent emails with a picture of what was inside me. Nobody wanted to take the case because I guess they don't want to go up against the Tennessee.
Okay, hang tight on that. We just have a minute, Clint. And so, what does it sound? I mean, it's interesting. He may not have contacted a malpractice attorney specifically, but attorneys aren't prone to turning away lucrative cases.
Yeah, well, it does sound like he contacted a malpractice attorney. I think he did. I think he's being told probably what he doesn't want to be told, but it's unfortunately true, which is they've looked at this and think to themselves this probably isn't a case worth taking.
Leaving something in someone?
Yeah, let me tell you, the catheter...
Just 30 seconds.
Yeah, just quickly. There are times when there are foreign objects left in the body that are meant to be there. There are times there are foreign objects that are left in the body that aren't meant to be there but cause no harm. Okay? The patient doesn't want it in there, but it's not causing any harm. In fact, it could be more dangerous to try to take it out. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So that's the reason why probably some people looking at this saying, that's just not going to rise the level of case that's going to be worth spending $25,000 or $30,000 to try to get money out of.
Clint, as always, and I'm going to let folks know when we come back, we've got a number for contacting you. Good to have you on. We'll see you again soon, my friend.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll be right back, wrap things up after this.